Hello and welcome to UFPTC. My name is NapalmF. So today we're going to be talking about some Bash basics. So what is Bash, first off? Bash stands for Born Again Shell. It's the back end to the computer. So when you need to access things that you normally can't access through the GUI, your terminal is going to help you out there. And it uses text commands instead of like pointing and clicking on buttons and stuff like that. So things might be a little bit different. It can be a little bit hard to pick up at first. I'm sure everyone will get it. It's actually a better way to do things than it is the GUI, than going the GUI route, in my opinion. So there's two types of programs, first off, that can run inside a bash shell, and they're interactive and non-interactive. We'll actually talk about that in a bit. So commands are structured in a bit of a special way. So, to basically use a command, you type in the command name, and then an argument. There's multiple arguments. You might have to do more arguments. So it's kind of like that. So the command portion of it is actually program, and we'll be talking a bit about more about that, in a bit. But basically, all that is just a piece of code that executes, and when you press enter on this, it sends argument 1 and argument 2 to that program, and it changes how it runs. So, we'll actually be talking about that right now. So, for instance, let me look at the files I have in here. Okay, so let's run a program called cat. Well, actually, first off, let's talk about ls. So, ls, when I pressed enter, it ran a program called ls, and what that does is that displays all the current files in the directory I'm in. You can change it with some arguments, which we'll be doing later. But right now I want to show you cat. So let's do ip.sh. So what that does is cat opens up a file and displays the text. And so how it works is once I press enter, the program cat is called, and it's handed ip.sh. And then cat does whatever it needs to do with that program, or with that file. So cat reads it out, but maybe another file might, like rm, or another program like rm, which removes files, will delete it. So it really depends on the program that's being used. So next, let's talk about switches. So switches change how a program runs. So by the way, just typing clear and pressing enter will clear out the terminal, so it gives you a nice new view, but everything isn't deleted. You can just go through the scroll bar. It just puts a bunch of spaces to clear out the window for you, because it's nice like that. So switches allow us to change how a program runs without using an actual argument to change it. So this might be a bit confusing at first, so I apologize. This is, again, just a bit of the basics. So let's use a program like ls. So ls runs, and it displays all the programs, or all the files that are in a certain directory that we're in right now, which happens to be my home directory. But if we use a switch like -l, you'll see the output became different. In this one, it's much nicer, and it shows us cool things like the read and write permissions on all of them, if it's a directory or not, stuff like that. So that lets us do gives us a little bit better visual. But remember, once we just typed in ls, it just produced a list of the files and nothing else. So switches allow us to change the output a bit, and change how the program runs. Now, they're usually either a dash or a dash dash. The naming convention, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong about this, but the naming convention is like dashes are only used for like one letter. So like ls minus l does that. But like if you were to do like ls minus minus color dash auto, or something like that. Oh, ls is I'm sorry, the dash dash is used for like words. So like dash dash context, or just the one letter for one dash. So just keep that in mind. That's usually the naming convention. So when you guys decide to write your own programs, that's usually how it is. So next, let's talk about some programs that you're going to be using constantly. One of those is cd. Oops, not cde, cd. And that lets us change directories. So cd, without any with an argument, we use like a directory. So for instance, let's press ls real quick here. So let's go to our desktop. right? So now the directory has changed, as you can see right here, and we are now currently in the desktop folder. So things have changed. Now we can cd into another folder and go there. Typing in cd just plain takes us back to our home directory. So the next program I want to talk about is ls. I mean, we've already talked about it, but I just want to cover it again, make sure everyone knows about it. ls is a glorious program, and it's going to be one of your most used. It just lists the files that are in a folder. You can also use it to list files in another folder if you put an argument to it. Cat types out files. So, we did like ip.txt, and that lets us know what files are in a specific it lets us know what text is in a specific file, and it reads it out. It'll do it on any file also, even ones that aren't like cat friendly. So let's do like a .deb file. Oh, let's actually even better. Let's do the lab connection file. This one is, it displays it all in like a and tries to make it all ASCII text, but it can't, so it does a lot of question marks. But that's just, again, something to keep in mind. Make mkdir makes a directory. So I meant cool new dir, but I misspelled it. Call new dir, and we can of course cd into that and do whatever we want. Yeah, whatever. rm lets us remove files. So I have some files I need to remove here, specifically lib event. So perfect timing. tar.gz. All right, perfect. So I want to delete this file. So all you do is rm, and if I were to ls again, that file is gone. Now to remove folders, we do rm-r. Let's remove call new directory, and that removed it. Next, the only other one you're going to want to know is -f, which force deletes it. So like for instance, if it's still in use or there's other special weirdnesses about it, this will delete it no matter what. But be warned about that. Just be very careful with it, because you can accidentally delete files that you didn't mean to delete, especially when we talk later about advanced stuff like being able to use wildcards. You don't want to accidentally delete things that you can't get back. Another one is another one talking about file moving around is hold on, I'm sorry. There we go. Nope, I don't want that. There we go. Is copy, CP. So CP lets us copy one file into another. So like for instance, let's copy enum for linux.tar.gz into a file enum for linux.tar.gz. And that, see, as you can see, the original file is still there, and we also have it up here. Next, we can move a file. This is also how to rename a file, by the way. So there is no like rename function. You just use move to move one file to another one. So let's say we wanted to rename enum for linux.tar.gz to enum.tar.gz to make it even easier to access. See, enum for linux.tar.gz is gone and changed to enum.tar.gz. So that's just another little thing. So there's going to be a lot more in the next unit. We're going to be talking about like wildcards and special characters. Again, sorry for the whole helter-skelter kind of setting for this. The basics are always the weirdest to cover because it's like the most common sense thing, and you kind of have to break it down into deeper, smaller packets, which can be a little bit difficult. It's like hard to, for the same reasons it's hard to explain the word the or an. It's just like simple, basic stuff that everyone knows. So anyways, stay tuned for the next chapter, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Again, helps us figure out what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Give us comments. That helps as well. And thank you very much for watching.